Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. And how are you doing today? I was hanging out with my grandkids the other day. Just me and my grandkids. And it actually felt like when I would be home with my own kids when they were little. It was so strange because nobody else was home. And I got to thinking about grandkids because we have our grandkids a lot, you know. We are very blessed that they live in the same town as we do, and you know, we get to see them very often. And so they're kind of just this, you know, some people talk about their grandkids or their children or, you know, different things and in different ways. And I just feel ours are like this extension of our family. You know, when we're counting people, it's you know, me and my husband, 5 kids, 3 grandkids, and then I'm sorry, and then we go to the significant others, you know, and counting, you know, and it's always it's so strange because then I think about how grandchildren are in our society. They're not really grandchildren anymore. There's people who raise their grandchildren as their own children because their children can't raise them. And then you go into that whole aspect of why can't they raise their own kids? And I mean, it's really sad, really sad. And then there's grandchildren that don't see their grandparents because they live, you know, 8 states away, you know. So the only way you get to know them is if families come together often. And at least we have Zoom and, you know, FaceTime and stuff like that where they can actually see them. Whereas prior to this, you didn't get to see your grandkids if they lived away. I actually knew a lady, I didn't know her. I just, you know, I was acquainted with her, where her grandkids, this is when we had dial-up internet. So yeah, phone calls were the only thing she had. And her kids, one lived in the East Coast and one lived on the West Coast. And then she lived, you know, smack in the middle of, you know, the country kind of. And so, you know, it was very hard. So the only time she got to see them was if they came home, which was once every few years. And if they went out to see them, you know, which really sucks. So if you have any grandchildren, I suggest you squeeze them and kiss them and call them George. You know, no. But yeah, it was just like, it was just, yeah, it was a really cool day. It was just the 3 of us, just the 4 of us, them 3 and me. And we had a lot of fun. But anyway, today we are doing soap number 4 of the Here Comes Summer soaps. So be kind, be forgiving, be you. And let's go check out one soap I'm very proud of is Sea Minerals. Okay, into our soap, which I don't have my notes on. Oh man. Oh man. I found him. Okay, some of these summer soaps, I'm so proud of myself on just the overall, you know, making and creating of them. And this is one of them. This one turned out absolutely stunning. It's actually a remake from one last year. Same scent, totally different bar. Sea Minerals last year was the bottom half was a scrubby salt bar, and then it was pink and white and blue, and then it had pink Himalayan salt crystals on top. It was so pretty, but this one I think far surpasses it. And the fragrance oil Sea Minerals is from Aztec Candle Company. Just a yummy, yummy scent. I was actually surprised because I used it as a liquid soap a little bit for my bathroom, and it does get thick, I'm gonna warn you. But I was surprised that my daughter liked it because she can be kind of picky with scents. So yeah, that was kind of cool. But so for this bar, we are going to do what I call a double bowl drop swirl. And my colors, I have 4 colors that we're not even going to have a lot of them, just a very slight color added. So that first one was ballet slippers, and that mica is green mint jaloop. I think that's what it's called. And then the gold is brambleberry gold. And the blue is going to be Aphrodite blue. It turned out so perfect in this bar. I think it's because I used to use it for the lemongrass and spearmint, and it would turn this really pretty, but yet it was more of a greenish color. It like lost its blue, you know what I'm saying? So I did use titanium dioxide in this. I don't even think it was supposed to discolor, but I can't remember. And probably at the time I couldn't remember, and although my notes should have been there because my fragrance oil was right there. But remember, double bowl drop swirl, which means we divide that white portion in half. There we go. We're going to put it in that bowl. We're going to divide it in half, and then we're going to do a drop swirl in the bowl, in each bowl, and then do an actual drop swirl with each bowl. That gets kind of confusing, doesn't it? Why, yes, it does. So just blending these up, and this, I have to say, did stay pretty fluid. Yeah, so that's another bonus with, the soap. You always have to take that into consideration. Is it going to accelerate? Is it going to, all the things. And then here's the surprise. Ooh, quartz crystals. Yeah. Yes, I've had them for so long, and I just did not plan out. I couldn't plan out a soap that made me happy. I was going to do a winter soap, and it just didn't happen. And then with the sea minerals, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm going to do. And my grandson, when he saw them, he was just like, oh, Grandma, you have to save me one. So all the parts will not be on the website just because they're already purchased, which isn't fun at all for some of you, but it's okay. There'll be some. So we mixed the red and the blue and the green and the gold. Why? I don't know. I think I did it more because I didn't want the blue and the green because they're so close on the color wheel. I wanted the variation. I wanted more definite distinction in the pour. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and we're going to speed this up a little bit because it is so slow. So it is such a cool view because you can see those colors, how they run into, how they pour out of the bowl. It's so cool. But like I said, I didn't want the blue and the green. You put them together, and I might have gotten a very wishy-washy color. I wanted the distinction. But yet not a lot. There was only 4 ounces of each color, and the rest is all the white. So 34 ounces of white and 16 color. Yeah. I guess it's about almost a half ratio, but yet, yeah. And then I let it set up. I had to let it set up because, what else are you going to do? You can't put the gems on until it sets up totally. So I had to figure out where they were going. So, lined them up really nice on that board. And then I'm going to just put the rest of the reserved colors kind of just down in a line, kind of like Angel's Orchard. But not quite the same.
I know, I really could not figure out how I wanted to do the top. I was just, I wanted the colors, but I was just kind of stuck for a little bit on how exactly I wanted the top. I knew I wanted the top to be extra pretty and extra, wow factor, but I just wasn't even sure. Like, that was my hardest part of this whole thing. There was so much I could have done, and I didn't know how to do it or how I wanted to do it. Because I knew this was going to be an extra special bar, just because of my grandsons and their rock collecting and, people that collect rocks. And, I knew this, so with them in mind, I wanted it to be special. And then finally, after a good dousing of eco glitter and snowflake mica on top, I decided it was time to put those quartz. I think they're quartz, aren't they? Aren't they quartz stones? I have to look it up again. It's like, what did I put up? What are they called? Quartz crystals, yeah. Okay. On top, because it should have been set up and thick enough so they wouldn't sink. Because, heaven forbid they fall through that soap layer. I'd be devastated. But they're so pretty because they're clear and, oh, they're just so neat. Yes. Placing them was heck, because you know how, yeah, I'm so great at placing things and cutting them. Ugh. Yeah, but oh, aren't they pretty? They're just so pretty. Just put it in there. Stick it in there. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more character and flick that top edge. Why? I don't know. It just needed something. It needed a little variation. Just something extra. Something, yeah, sometimes you just mess with the soap too much. But I thought it turned out good. One more flick. One more. Come on. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I just love it. Look at that. Okay, so that was on a heat pad. It didn't get C-popped. It got heat padded. And sat for a couple days. And I got a nice, solid bar. Oh, they're so pretty. And the sunshine, you just can't even get. Like, I took so many pictures of them. I just couldn't get, like, what it looked like compared to what showed up on the camera. Does that make sense? Yep. So, cutting these was a little bit challenging for me. Like, you always know that's just me. And I had to remeasure and, make sure I was going to fall into place. And, yeah. Because I always forget. I mean, I go off my lines, but my cutter, is set, just a little bit smidge bigger than, the inch. But, yeah, I think I got here and I went, whoa, I'm really getting close to that edge, but I can't stop cutting. I can't, because that other edge has the, the smidge of soap, the little baby soap end. I know, it's so crazy how it turns out that way. But yeah, that was that one that I decided to cut wrong. And, but look at them. Look at the colors. I was freaking out. I'll admit it. I was freaking out that they were going to be muddy. Honestly, I thought they were going to be muddy. But look at them. They are not muddy. The double drop swirl, bowl swirl, drop swirl, whatever I call it, turned out amazingly cute. Super, super cute. Look at those. Yeah, I speeded this up. Oh, they're so pretty. Here are the fragrance notes for these beautiful, gorgeous, rocky bars. Here are the bars right after I cut them. They're so cute, so cute. And here are the bars when they are totally cured. What can I say? I nailed it. Anyway, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. And God bless.